Hello, all, and welcome to Movie Bears Podcast TV. I'm Brad Harris, and now and then, when our crazy schedules permit, we like to get together and talk some TV, dish some television, if you will. And what better guys to do it with than my wonderful friends, partners in crime, whatever you want to call it. Casey Scott is here. Welcome, Casey.
Hello. Oh my gosh, weeks later. And I will take responsibility for a lot of this. So I'm very glad that we could get everything squared away and do this, especially, it's good to be back and talk with you guys.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back, Casey. Glad to have you. And Stephen Heslin is here with us as well. Welcome, Stephen.
Hello. Yes, it is good to be here. And yeah, waiting 2 days to talk about this has been like nerve-wracking.
Right? I haven't talked about it with anybody. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because like the only thing I wanted to do was like jump in our Facebook chat and like decompress with you guys, and I'm like, save it for the show.
Yeah.
So, well, we are here, and we are going to be spoiling pretty much everything from season 6, potentially, of Game of Thrones. We're going to be discussing the season 6 finale, The Winds of Winter. So if you have not seen that episode of Game of Thrones, I don't know why the hell you clicked on the YouTube link, because it's pretty explicit. We're going to be reviewing it. But you know what? If you wanted to be here anyway, you don't want spoilers, you're welcome to stay. We love you. We heart you. You can stay. But if you ended up here by accident, maybe you took a wrong turn at Marine or something, now's your chance to get on a ship and head back to Westeros, because spoilers are fair game. So, guys, it's been a few weeks since we've done this, so we'll kind of just focus on the finale here. I know we got a lot to catch up on. Steven, do you want to just kind of give us your thoughts? Not necessarily a beat for beat plot thing, but like, what did you think? Was this a good finale?
I thought it was an amazing finale for mainly one specific moment, which was towards the beginning, and it was the explosion. And it funny little side note, by the way. So after I watched the episode and everything, I think the next day I was on Facebook, and somebody had posted something about Game of Thrones and everything, and underneath I saw a comment from Will Lindis, and he said something to the effect of, yeah, lots of stuff blew up, but it was dumb and stupid and no character arcs and blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, what the fuck? And then at the end he said something like, and it relied heavily on patriotism. And I'm like, wait a second. And I missed that he was posting about Independence Day. And I was like, oh thank God. I was like, did I totally misread this? Because I loved it.
Oh, my God.
I had lots of story characters.
That's good.
But yeah, because I think I just saw lots of stuff blew up, and I was like, oh, he must be talking about Game of Thrones because right underneath the post. So yeah, Cersei decided to, it's funny, again, sorry, another side note, a lot of times we hear these showrunners say that, they kind of are going in a certain direction, like Arrow and The Flash and stuff like that. They're like, we're going down this path. We don't want it to get stale and boring, so we're going to blow things up, And this show literally blew things up to change directions. Cersei with, having that hellfire, whatever that green oozing stuff was underneath the city, and the music that underneath that scene was so epic, and it was just amazing. And then seeing, the king, her son, just be like totally not know what to do, and just that shot just staying on the window, and he walks away and takes off his crown. It's going to happen, but they pause for a second, and then he just walks out. It just so beautiful and so poetic and so tragic.
And at least now it explains why they call it King's Landing.
Oh,
oh my God!
Wow.
That was his Hodor. That was his prophecy.
Yeah. So it was just amazingly epic, and Cersei in that outfit too. Like, where'd she get that outfit? I mean, she's like straight out of the Matrix or something.
Right. They're specially made for that event. It was like, can you make this in like 2 days?
Yeah, but it's just I have no idea sort of how it's gonna go forward. And even Jamie seemed to kind of come back and be like, you know, what's going on? This isn't, you know, my sister that I've been fucking this whole time. You know?
Right, he stuck his dick in Crazy, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's like, don't ever stick your dick in Crazy.
Yeah. And then, I mean, there was so much stuff in this episode. Arya got her revenge,
right,
which was amazing. And then we sort of finally learned, you know, who Jon Snow's real mother is.
Well, did we? Yeah, we know who the real mother is, of course, but do we know who the real father is yet?
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of up in the air. I think.
I think we do.
I think. Well, were you the one who posted that video that somebody posted on Facebook? And it basically took every mention of the aunt and the Targaryen guy, and kind of did a super cut of it, and it basically they've been planting seeds this entire time.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so I think it's pretty solid. And it makes a lot more sense, and it sort of makes him the rightful heir to the throne and everything, and you know, but I don't know, the way this show goes, it's like, you know, you can lead, you know, in a certain direction, then all of a sudden everyone's dead again. So.
Right.
So this was a big win for you then, you think? Pretty successful season finale?
I think so. I mean, it was one of those ones where I was like, please don't end. There's just so much, you know, that you're giving us. Please don't stop giving us stuff. And it just, I thought it was really well done. I loved every moment, every turn, every little bit of it. And even the episode before that, which we can get into later, just with the war and everything, the battle. I mean, epic. I mean, the amount of effort. I watched a behind the scenes, you know, featurette of it, and it's like, I mean, they basically spent their entire budget on that scene, you know. So.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's crazy.
It's so interesting too, because typically like episode 9 is like the big episode, and then episode 10 is sort of the denouement, like it sets things up next season. And this time, like, we had the Battle of the Bastards and Ramsay Snow, you know, being eaten alive by his hounds, and you know,
which was not harsh enough. I don't.
I thought it was I thought it was totally harsh.
Oh no! I think he should have been castrated, then eaten by dogs.
Oh,
my God. Well, you know the dogs are gonna get there.
That's true.
They should have put him there naked. It would have been worse, I think.
They do like their sausage links.
So. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, this was a big episode, which I knew we had to wrap up the whole like Cersei trial thing, but I figured like we were done with Meereen, we got Dany's big scene. I figured we were done with Jon Snow because we got the big Battle of the Bastards. So I was kind of like, all right, we're gonna finish up at King's Landing, maybe check in with Arya and the Hound, and we're good. But nope, another crazy big episode. And golly, so much to unpack. You asked where she got that dress. I think she found a time machine and raided a Romulan commander's closet.
Yes, definitely Romulan.
with the pointy shoulders, you know. But yeah, I mean, that was just crazy. And a few episodes ago, like, you know, Cersei's in the court, and you know, Tommen announces that trial by combat has been like outlawed, right? They're not going to allow that to happen anymore. And so, amidst getting this bad news, Maester Qyburn comes in and he's like, "Hey, Cersei, you know that thing we talked about? It's true." And we were all kind of wondering, like, okay, what was that thing? Is that they found Tyrion? Is it that like what is it? And now I think it's this whole wildfire thing. I think it was confirmation, you know, that maybe the kids found all that wildfire still there. And so I just want to take a minute, guys, and lament the passing of poor Marjorie Tyrell.
Yeah,
I know.
That's like that whole thing is like that that everyone was like, oh my God, Cersei, and it's like, did you forget that like one of the best characters of the show was wiped out? Like, and that really sucks because, you know, she was great.
She was.
My hope is that somehow she like ducked under the arms of the guards and somehow got out. Maybe we'll see her pop up again. We've had more fucking resurrections on this show, you guys. Jon Snow, obviously, but come on, the Hound's showing back up.
Right.
Like, if the Hound come back, I can hold out hope for Marjorie Tyrell, but it probably won't happen.
No.
But
she's too big now. That was a good way for her to get out of the show because she's doing everything now.
But I want to talk a little bit about the Marine stuff. So Dany finally has left Dario Naharis behind. It was, a touching breakup, whatever. And now apparently Tyrion is like her brother in arms. He is the hand of the queen. They're on the sea with the fleet. I didn't catch this. Someone told it to me, and I had to go back and rewatch it. I guess because Varys showed up in Dorne, at the end scene, there are like Dornish ships as part of the fleet as well. Right. So we saw Varys back on the boat, and I was like, oh, how did he like? I mean, I know Varys has a magic teleporting machine, but I was like, why is he back so soon? But there are like Sunspear ships as part of Dany's fleet, so she's kind of got like the Tyrells, she's got the Dornish like women, she's got the Unsullied, she's got the Dothraki, she's got her dragons. Like, is anybody? Let me pose this question to you: is anybody at this point going to be able to stand up to the combined might that is Daenerys Stormborn Targaryen, first of her name, Queen of the Andals?
No, I mean it's I don't understand how anyone would stand a chance.
No. But who's left to stand? I don't think who are her nemesis at this point. Like,
well,
who is supposed to be fighting her for this throne? Basically, the Lannisters, right?
Cersei and the Lannisters, yeah.
That's it. Like, because Jon Snow doesn't want the throne; he just wants the North. It's not a thing. So I think, I don't know. I'm hoping that the big bads, in the last couple seasons, are just gonna be the White Walkers. Like, we've Walter Frey is gone. Basically all the really nasty characters are gone at this point. So
what
it
about
really is kind of like time to condense that and focus on the White Walkers, which is a much bigger threat in the first place. So
didn't Daenerys say that she's going to have to marry someone? What if she marries Jon Snow?
But Jon Snow is her nephew, but she may not know that.
Right.
That's true.
I don't know what other men are left, unless he tries to marry Jamie. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you remember I think it was season 2, Dany is like in the House of Warlock or whatever. She has like a vision, and she sees like her husband and her little boy, and she like walks into the throne room of the Red Keep, and it's like snowing and open to the air and like all destroyed. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that. No.
I don't.
Okay, well, it's part of a vision she had. And now that we're talking about it, it's coming back to mind, and I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe she shows up just in time for the White Walker shit to get real. Right. And by the time that's all taken care of, she does come back to take the throne. But, like, the room's all burned out, the castle's destroyed. Like, in the end, she doesn't get anything. I don't know.
It's possible.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know.
I just don't want Jon Snow to get anything. because he's like, at this point, he's the least interesting protagonist on the show. I mean, he's always kind of been that way anyway, but to me, the women are always much stronger for me.
Yeah.
So, Casey, let's dig into that. So, Stephen and I both think this was an awesome finale. Kind of weigh in and maybe talk a little bit about if you think this Jon Snow thing is earned. Do you care at this point?
Well, I definitely think it was a great finale. It was not a 10 for me, but it was a 9. I really liked it. It lost a point because of the way Marjorie went out. Unfortunately, I have to go with my gut, and that was just not. It was rough. It was rough. I was like, oh my god, no, this is horrible. Yeah, the Jon Snow thing, like, yeah, I get that he has these people supporting him and everything. My concern with that is that Sansa is for some reason gonna listen to Littlefinger after all this bullshit, and it's just like, listen, don't get your panties in a bunch. Like, don't get an ego involved here. Like, you told him that you considered him a Stark, so let's not go in here. I guess he's kind of the last kind of villainous guy left. Well, no, that's not true. We have the Uncle Iron Islands. I forget what his name is.
Euron
Yeah,
Greyjoy. That's
so
right.
that'll be probably a big thing. But I mean, what's he gonna do? Look at look at the giant armada that's coming for him. So he's basically gonna get mowed down in like episode 3 or something probably next season. No, I mean, I'm very intrigued by Cersei's storyline because it really seems like yeah, she has a completely scorched earth policy. Like even in that episode, I think that Thomas' declaration that there would be no trial by combat. I think she was kind of like I think that was kind of the nail in the coffin for her because she really, considering that she saved him, she had no scene with him, except after he had killed himself, and even she took that very well because she got the throne after all. So,
Well, I think she was expecting it. She had that prophecy that all 3 of her children will die. So.
Right. I think she was expecting it, but it was still a very cold response. It was just like, well, yeah, it was going to happen. Okay, you're out of here. And then so the throne is mine now. But it was funny because it was like, okay, so my brother was watching it with me, and he was like, okay, so everyone's just like fine with this? Like after it's pretty well established that she's the one who blew up the Sept and all of this stuff and all these people, like they're just gonna let her take the throne. I was like, what choice do they have? Who's left? What the hell? There's nobody else to take the throne. And it's it's kind of like when the vice president ascends after an assassination. It's like, well, what are you gonna do? It's like you might not be the right person for the job, but guess what? It's like it's a complete calamity. Like it's bad enough that we had this happen. So
do you think that the people of King's Landing might rise up against her? After her walk of shame?
I think they're lemmings. That's the thing. They're such idiots. Like a lot of the citizens of these places, the show is really very focused on like the monarchy and the people in high ranks. The citizens are really shown as consistently throughout the series as really stupid and lemmings and sheep. And so I don't think that they have the power to do that. Or the interest really. I think there's like, oh, whatever, another day in King's Landing. Yeah. So I think that they loved the Walk of Shame because it was them being able to, see the Queen Mother get humiliated and they can throw shit at her and get away with it. But I think that scene with the mountain, just randomly killing some guy in a back alley was kind of like, I think that's probably going to send a message like, don't mock this shit, and you don't mock her, and don't make jokes about this. So no, I think that they're just going to fall in line. I think Jaime might have to end up killing her though, because if she goes completely, he might have to be a queen slayer as well as a king slayer, because if she goes completely apeshit, which she clearly has, who's to say? If she's willing to let her own son die as a consequence to get to the throne, then I don't know if she has any room left for him either. I mean, we don't. It's a very weird situation they're in right now.
Well, and that's the thing is, Jaime is sort of on this like redemption arc, right? Like even in his dealings with the Blackfish down at River Run, like he's trying to be honorable. He's trying to, do things without bloodshed if at all possible. So, I feel like he killed the Mad King Aerys because he wanted to save the people. And now you're right. I mean, I think he may be in a position where maybe Cersei's going to blow up the rest of the city because they're not doing what she wants them to do. Maybe they're not behaving, right? Maybe he's got to stop her. So, gosh, that would be so interesting if he does have to kill her. Who would be in charge of King's Landing at that point? The Hand of the King is dead at this point, right? So who would it go to?
I mean, I think in that kind of situation, I think it would be like a kind of all is lost situation. I think it would be kind of a situation, at least I envision it in my crazy imagination. It would be kind of a thing where she is like on a suicide mission, like we all have to die, for King's Landing, and he's like, well, no, that's ridiculous. Like I'm not sacrificing everybody in this city for your whims and your crazy stranglehold on King's Landing. And at that point, I think it would kind of be like a surrender sort of thing to probably Dany at this point. I mean, she's the only power. She's the only one with any
Right.
kind of power that is coming for King's Landing. There's nobody else really. So yeah, I don't know. I'm intrigued.
You know, the funny thing is, the more I think about it, you know, with Dany trying so hard to get to the Iron Throne and rule the Seven Kingdoms, I feel like her whole thing is trying to get there.
Mhm.
And like even in Marine, she didn't like ruling. She was just trying to like, how do I get to the next step of trying to get to the throne of the Seven Kingdoms?
Mhm.
I think once she gets there, she'll be like, nah. Like,
It's like, oh, there are no slaves to free here.
yeah, it's like,
only white
wait,
people
I
that
have
can
no more
rule.
fighting to do. I rule everything, you know.
Right.
I think once she gets to the top, she'll be dissatisfied. You know,
Exactly.
she likes the climb.
Well, and
Right.
I think that's why. I mean, I think this whole like Song of Ice and Fire thing is ultimately leading towards Jon Snow like ruling everything at the
Mhm.
end, because Jon Snow is a Stark, so there's the ice, and he's a Targaryen, there's the fire. So I think he's going to rule everything. Maybe Dany is going to become like the head of his army or something, so she gets to do all the fighting and the conquering, you know,
Yeah.
to satisfy her Targaryen bloodlust.
Yeah.
But even with Tyrion, and as much as I love Dany, even with Tyrion guiding her, I just don't think she's going to be, like you were saying, Stephen, I don't think she's going to be satisfied with like the daily, oh, let me now listen to this person tell me their problems, and here,
Right.
have a sheep, there you go. Like, she just seemed so bored and weighed down by that shit in Marine.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's going to work for her in Westeros.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but also doesn't she get mostly like turned on by like being the great white hope for brown people? Like I don't
Yeah.
like so it's basically like my aim is to rule over white people. It's like, well, this isn't as much fun as like freeing slaves and being like the white goddess to a bunch of others. So
Yeah.
you know, I'm interested in seeing where that goes, and I love that she's building up this huge army. But I definitely, yeah, I agree with you, Stephen. I think it's kind of like, is that all there is? Like that,
Yeah.
that song, you know?
Maybe at the end of this whole thing, like, Essos is going to be like in dire straits again, and she's going to become like the Galadriel of Lord of the Rings, and just like diminish into the east. Like, she'll go back over there
Yeah.
to do her own thing again. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or she could go power mad, and Jamie has to kill her too.
Here's what I want to know. So yes, the Dothraki are all like, oh, because
Right.
she's magical, she has dragons, whatever. But like, how is she going to keep them from killing and maiming and raping? Like, she told Yara, right, that her Iron Island people can't rape
It's
anymore.
like, but that's our way. It's like, well,
Yeah.
like, wait, I was
Right.
like, first of all, I was like, wait, really? We haven't really seen any of that from the
I
Iron
know.
Islands people.
Well,
Like, where'd that
sure.
come from?
We have though. They took
Have we?
Winterfell. Yeah, remember Theon Greyjoy had a force of them. They took Winterfell.
Yeah, but I
They
thought
burned
that was
Winterfell.
Theon. I didn't think that was the island people's way. Like we haven't seen
Well-
Yara do that or
Well,
or anything
but
like that.
He took a cadre of Iron Islands people with him, and he was like surprised that they were doing that. He was trying to stop them, and they wouldn't. So I think it's kind of their way. But my question is, the Dothraki are like Iron Islands men times 50. Like, they are all about raping for fun.
And they're
How-
staying in Marine right now, right?
No, the Dothraki are
No,
coming
they're
with
with
her.
her.
They're on the ships.
Oh, they're on the ships. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So they're coming over like expecting to get some white goddess poontang
Yeah.
like from every barn they destroy. So I don't know how
Right.
that's gonna work.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, don't they basically just? Where are they going to go after this? Are they going to set up camp in King's Landing, or are they going to go back to Dothraki land? Like,
Yeah.
that's another thing. It's like, what is
They're
the
desert people too. You know,
Right,
they're not gonna live in the
exactly.
north.
Right. So I don't know. You will see. Yeah, I don't think they planned that out very well. You know.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I think that I mean, I love that this is all sort of coming to a head, but at the same
Right.
time, like it's sort of like there's no good outcome.
Right. Well,
You know?
I don't consider, like, I definitely agree with you, Brad. I think that the end goal is to get Jon Snow to be the once and future king or whatever. But I don't find that interesting. Like, I guess because I've never really been into him as a character. Like,
Yeah.
he just isn't that compelling. Kit Harington is pretty, but he's not a good actor. Like, there's really nothing to that character for me. So it's just, I haven't seen a tremendous amount of personal growth for him over the series either.
Are you guys familiar with like the Mary Sue character phenomenon?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so there's this thing in like literary circles, whatever, called the Mary Sue, and basically that's a character who's like a stand-in for the author, and it's all about like wish fulfillment of the author, like
Okay.
and I'm thinking at this point that Jon Snow is the Mary Sue character. Like, I almost think that like George R.R. Martin wants to be this like low-born bastard knight who comes up and becomes the ruler of everything and has all these people, and like that's what I think this Song of Ice and Fire is like all about. As great as the series is, as great as the books are, I have always kind of felt like Jon Snow is a little bit of a Mary Sue, and so that's why I just every time he's on screen it kind of rankles me a little bit. So.
No, I love that analogy, and that is really what it is for me too. I totally agree, Brad.
Well, and I think George R. R. Martin is sort of getting that. Like, everyone's putting him in this deity level, because everyone's going ape crap over the books and everything, and the whole story, but he can't even finish the last book.
No. And at this point, everything they're loving about this season is written by other people and just kind of like, like co-signed by
licensed.
Right. It's like, okay, I agree with this. It's like, yeah, but you didn't have anything to do with it.
Well, he did. I mean, he gave bullet points. He gave overall plot points.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. There are fans who still say the books are going to be completely different. It's like, okay, have fun with that theory. That's fine. I haven't read any of them. I don't plan on it. So if you guys have your own an alternate universe in the books, actually, that'd be interesting. I might read the books, actually, if that was the case, just to see where certain things go.
Yeah.
It's apparent. I mean, if Cersei can use a time machine to go get a Romulan commander outfit, then
anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
What else was I gonna? There's just so much to unpack with this.
Well, what did you guys think of? What was the mountain exactly doing to that nun woman when the Shane woman on the table?
I don't know. Something awful.
I think he was probably going to rape her with her bell. First things first.
Something.
Maybe.
Yeah. I could see that. I don't want to see that. Thankfully, I don't have to see that. But yes, I could envision that bell being used. And I'm excited to use my app now in Bear Week even more. I have my bell app.
Oh, do you?
Yes. If you shake it, it's a bell, and then you hit the screen, it says shame.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
At like 4:30 in the morning, as people are gathering in front of Spiritus, and
that's what you do.
Coming from different houses, you're gonna do the walk of shame bell.
Shame.
Yeah. I plan on doing that.
That's funny.
Hey, can we talk about Arya for a little bit?
Oh,
okay. That completely blew my shit up. Like, I was like, oh my god! I was like, because I don't know. I guess that's good that I can still be surprised by the show. I'm sure some people like expected it to be her, but I totally didn't.
I didn't either. I had no idea.
Because I was like, well, Arya, we're not going to see her until she gets back to King's Land or gets back to Winterfell or whatever. But I was suddenly like, oh, holy shit! Oh my god, this is perfect. Okay.
So I felt bad for a second because we had a bunch of bears over to watch the finale. Super fun. But like we get to that scene, right? And the first scene with the phrase that that chick is like walking around and he's like looking at her butt and like she's like they're making jokes with like Bronn and how hot she is. And I'm kind of like, that's so weird that they would spend so much time on like the servant girl. And then when that Walder Frey scene comes up and he like touches her butt, I'm like, oh my god, it's Arya! And everyone looks at me like I'm stupid. They're like, what the fuck? What? And then I think it started to sink in, and then she pulls, and I think my guess
pre-spoiled it.
They were like, "God damn you!" Right?
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I didn't know. I hadn't, it was just a feeling.
Yeah.
But then she's all like, and how badass was that? She's like,
Yeah, the last thing we're
might-
gonna see is a Stark smiling.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
and
it
I
was
love
awesome.
how she said, "My name is Arya Stark. I want you to know that." Like as if she's walking into a doctor's office or something, just very clinical. Like, you know, you have the clap. I want you to know that. Like, you know.
It reminded me. It was very much Indigo Montoya.
Yeah.
Get my father, prepare to die.
The only thing I was curious about is she left that whole thing behind. She's all trained on how to be an assassin and everything, but how did she get the face? Like,
well, my
the girl,
thinking.
maybe.
Well, I don't know if she has the like magic power to take faces or what. That was never really covered. But I'm wondering if maybe Jack and Hagar let her take a face with her, because he was kind of in her corner. Like he was when she's like, a girl has a name. It's Arya Stark, and I'm going back to Westeros. He was like,
yeah, you go, girl.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it was very,
like,
it was very like Pat Morita and Karate Kid. It was like, yes.
all right. Right.
This is the true. You've learned the true lesson. Okay, you can go. Right.
He just needed to give us like some Z snaps and like a farewell sign.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
but I don't know. That's a theory. Who knows?
I thought it was awesome. Oh my god, it was so great.
It was very satisfying. But
well, see, initially I thought that I don't know. I thought she was like sent. I had my own theories about that. I was kind of like, well, we saw the Dorne women in the previously on. Is she like sent by Dorne to assassinate? Like, are they being sent out to take out those other houses? Like, I was thinking completely in other areas. I didn't think about Arya at all.
Yeah.
So I was nicely surprised. That kind of reminds me, like, my mom saw Tommen looking out the window, and she was like, "He's gonna jump," and I was like, "Mom, seriously?" And then like 5 minutes, and then like 2 seconds later he jumps. I'm like, "Shut the fuck up and don't say it." Like, could you just not project what you think is gonna happen? Like, talking to a pillow, like, don't say it out loud. I was just like, "Oh, you're ruining this! Oh my god."
Yeah.
But
the only time that's good and acceptable is when you're watching the first 5 minutes of Law and Order and you guess which extra is going to be the killer in the end. You know?
that's when it's good, right? Exactly.
That's when it's okay, but
or when it's the last 20 minutes and you're like, oh, that name guest star is the one who did it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
funny.
Right.
Funny how it's always the guest star of the week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Will from Will and Grace. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
So who is left on Arya's list at this point? She killed Sir Cersei. So Cersei's left. Who else?
Was Jaime on that list? Was that why she was eyeing him?
Oh, maybe. That's a good.
Let's see if I can Google Arya's list.
If you just type in Arya's list, I bet it will come up.
Hey, look! Here's a ScreenRant.com. I love Screen Rant article about who's left on Arya's hit list. So let's see.
They always are thinking ahead for people like us who need to know this stuff. Yes. That's good.
So Joffrey's gone. So he's no longer a thing. Tywin Lannister is dead. Mm-hmm. She assumes that the Hound is dead, but I think she took him off her list anyway, right?
Yeah. Right.
Let's see.
Where the hell is he, by the way?
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't see him again.
Right.
You know, but I
think it was right. I think that's what it is. They're setting it up for next season.
Mm-hmm. Ilan Payne is still around.
Who?
So Ilan Payne. He's the guy who chopped off he was like the executioner guy.
Oh, seriously? Come on now.
Yep.
I'm like, wait, you have the random executioner who's an employee of King's Landing?
Yeah. Well, he was
the guy who was following orders.
He was the scary guy without a tongue in season 1. He was like bald and
white. God.
Faced and
you know what? They should have just had him be in the Sept so that he was blown up with the dragon fire. Because at this point, he's gonna show up and people are like, "Who the fuck is that?" Exactly. Oh yeah, the guy who killed Ned Stark. We're now at this point, we're gonna be 6 seasons after we last saw him. Can we not? Like, come on now.
So Steven, what were you gonna say while I was looking up that list?
Just that after watching this, I went back to episode 1 because I haven't watched episode 1 since I first watched it. How many years ago now? And it was really fascinating to see sort of all the characters that are kind of still there. Like the Hound was in episode 1. There's all these people that are there that don't even necessarily have lines or anything, but they're all kind of being set up in this world, and it is kind of interesting. Even the Jon Snow character, which kind of now makes me think that this really is sort of about him and Daenerys and everything, because they really do kind of focus on him a lot in that first episode, which I didn't really remember so much. I just, you sort of remember Jaime and Cersei having sex and
pushing Bran out the window.
Yeah, pushing Bran out the window. And I don't remember which actor that was for Bran. Because isn't he on like the third actor that's playing him?
No, he's been the same actor the whole time.
What?
It's been all the kids have been the same actors.
Yeah. Really? I thought
even little Rickon was the same actor. But he looks like he's like 25 freaking years old. And same with Bran. He's just exploded, and that's why it's like a joke within the fan community. Like he disappears for like in Showtime, it's 2 months, but he's grown into this giant. Yeah, and he's still supposed to be little Bran, but it's
the byproduct of becoming the next Three-Eyed Raven.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And wasn't there someone though that got swapped out? I thought there was somebody that got swapped
Dario.
out. Oh,
Dario Naharis.
It was originally was like a blonde Viking look and a blonde like Nordish look, and then they switched him out for this guy who looks like every other bearded guy on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't mind because the new guy is way hotter than the old guy.
That's true.
Yeah, except he's got no ass. Like they showed him nude, and I was like, oh god, why do they have to show him nude? I was like, why can't we get Samwell nude?
Yeah.
Hey, we got to see the Hound penis, so you can't have everything.
That's true.
Did we? When?
Yeah, when he was peeing.
He was peeing. We totally got to see him take a pee into that lake.
Yeah.
Oh, but it wasn't like Chris Maloney peeing. Like that was really his dick peeing. Like.
Well, I think this was really his dick, but it was
really his
dick. It was a wide shot, which was.
It was a wide shot
because it's so big. It had.
Oh gosh! Oh my lord! Oh jeez.
Okay, so I have a question. Where the fuck is Ghost, Jon Snow's direwolf?
They don't have the budget for him. They've gone on record as saying that it wasn't in the budget to include him in the battle or in the last episode. Because they spent all the budget on the dragons instead.
Interesting. That was another thing, sort of in the first episode, was finding. I didn't remember them finding the 5 direwolf pups. Like I thought they were just there the whole time. I'd forgotten they found them on a dead direwolf in the very first episode. So is Ghost the only one left?
Arya is around somewhere.
Yeah, Nymeria is still out there somewhere, probably like repopulating the direwolves of the north.
Yes,
like,
having more bastards of her own.
Right.
Some other random direwolf.
Nymeria, mother of snow direwolves or something. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if because they're supposed to be connected to their owners, so maybe when Arya finally gets back to Daria,
I want to see Daria as the South.
That would be a fun crossover.
She's all like, my name is Daria Stark. I want you to know that.
I would love that.
Yeah.
That was Sansa for a little while.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that Arya shows back up
and then her
back
direwolf
to Nymeria. That could be cool. She like rides in on a horse with Needle at the ready, and like Nymeria is like 1,000 times the size she used to be.
Right. That'd be interesting.
Maybe she rides Nymeria.
Oh,
that's possible. Yeah, I don't know.
Arya, by the way, is the only one that looks like she does in the first episode.
Right? He was blessed with the genes to keep her looking 12 years old.
Yeah, exactly.
Producers are like, thank God you didn't have a growth spurt and you're already going to be 5'4".
Sansa isn't too different,
Right.
But,
She's pretty similar.
Yeah. But
Jon Snow looks pretty much the same, doesn't he?
yeah,
Except
but
for
they're all
the man
grown
bun.
actors, like
Yeah.
Bran. For some reason, I thought he was a different actor altogether.
I know. Yeah, he exploded, and then
Yeah.
he was like the cute little boy with the chubby cheeks, and then he became like this very skinny,
Tall.
tall, like late teens, early 20s actor. Like,
Isn't it funny how like our memories work sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you mentioned you hadn't watched the first episode since like when you watched it originally.
Yeah.
This is such an epic show. We love it so much. Like, how do our brains forget some of these details?
I know.
Right. Maybe you're thinking of Bobby from Mad Men.
Well, I think you just also don't know what's going to be important, so you kind of cling on to certain things in certain episodes, and it isn't till you rewatch things that then you realize, oh wow, they set this up way back when.
Right.
That's why I liked when people do those supercuts and stuff like that of all these like mentions of different things, and you kind of realize how brilliant the writers. Well, I mean, George R.R. Martin did, laid a lot of the groundwork, but how they brilliantly weaved it in, and just in passing conversations that. You probably just weren't registering because you're like, oh, look, there's a dragon over there,
Right.
Right. Oh, something else that I mentioned that I thought was like the whole Lady Mormont, like, yay, Jon Snow thing. Like, it was very Samwell, like trying to get him elected as the head of the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
So I was like, can Jon Snow never say a fucking word for himself? Like, it always has to be all these other people saying, yeah, you're the best. Like, he has no idea how to sell anything himself.
He's got a lot of
He is not a politician. That's for damn sure.
That actress
that
plays little Lady Mormont is awesome.
She's pretty good.
Man,
I want a spin-off series of just her.
Well, I like the memes of her, like her little scowly face from eating Ramsay Bolton that are going around. Like, you can use that face for pretty much anything. That's like it's either disgust, anger, frustration, constipation, like anything.
Oh man.
So I like that she's become like a meme superstar.
It was funny. Like even at work the other day, like I'm teaching a class in like this virtual Blackboard environment, and like one of my students was just like going crazy, like getting way too far with the jokes and stuff. So I just put the picture of Lyanna Mormont making on the virtual Blackboard. That was awesome. That was good.
That is really good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're such a good teacher. You're so cool.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome because it's funny and gets the point across.
That's right. Totally.
It's like here's the last laugh. Now shut the fuck up. I will always be the king of this classroom when it comes to laughs.
That's right.
That's the message I get from that for sure.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, guys, before we move on to plugs, any other final thoughts on the Game of Thrones season 6 finale?
Samwell, pointless as usual.
Oh yeah, that was pointless.
Right.
Yeah.
That was pretty much just a comedy scene, right? Like,
pretty much.
The only thing is it sort of showed you where the intro crown came from, is that library. It was one of the chandeliers.
Right. Yeah. What is that? Is it like a sextant or something that it's supposed to be?
I don't
even know.
A sex tent? Is that what you just said?
Not a sex tent, like a tent you go
not
for
tent,
sex.
Oh, right.
But a sextant.
Oh, a sex tent. Okay. I like sex tent better. I mean, the whole like, you know how Bran took off a season because they didn't need to follow him like to the ends of the earth, because like we could have taken a season off from Samwell and Gilly. Honestly, we didn't need stuff this season. It just took away from other stuff that might have been more interesting. Like personally, I feel more robbed of Marjorie now because we have Marjorie.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, what was the whole Rose thing? Was that just letting her grandmother know get the hell out of town, or was that was that explained before what the Rose meant?
Isn't that their house? Wasn't it the house symbol?
It is the house symbol, right? So her grandmother is the Queen of Thorns, and like their symbol on their flag or whatever is a rose or something. So it was. I think it was just a message to like go back and go back to their home.
Right.
Essentially.
And that's the reason why she was such a brilliant character is because she did that so that it wouldn't be traced back to her.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a note in writing like get out of here, you're gonna get killed. It was like here you go,
Right.
a nice pretty picture I drew you, and it's like oh I get it, okay.
Yeah.
See ya.
Right.
Oh, I miss her so much. I'm so
I know.
mad.
I wish she.
And she was the only one who knew something was going on, wanted to get the fuck out. And so I was like, this is why she's so brilliant. She knows Cersei's up to something.
But at least we still have Lady Olenna, guys, and I loved watching her put the sand snakes in their place. Like, she's like, what is your name again?
Yeah.
Barbara?
And you shut up.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was very yeah, I get why the gays love her so much. She's very like Golden Girls,
Sophia.
Sophia, very like she's like if you combine Sophia with Pat
Dorothy.
from Absolutely Fabulous, maybe.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Maybe a little bit. But no, I'm glad she's still around, and I think she made a good decision because what else is she gonna do unless she goes with the Dorne women? You know.
Well, and their house has no heir anymore either. Like
exactly, like their house is
Mace is dead. Like, so
well, at this point, the Freys are dead too, right? Because she killed all the sons, and then Bolton is dead because who's left in the house of Bolton?
Michael Bolton.
Oh yeah, 2 thumbs up to Michael.
Time, love, and tenderness.
But I thought that was it. I thought that she killed all of his sons.
She did, and put him in the pie.
Did he only have 2 sons, though? Were all the rest daughters? I forget.
I know he had a ton of daughters.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. So she'll have to kill all those poor, unfortunate things. Isn't their life hell enough? Like, you just made their life better by killing their father. Like, don't kill women.
How many more seasons do we have? Just one?
Just 2.
2.
2, and it's going to be like... There was confirmation that came out today from the creators of the show. They basically said there's 2 seasons left. It's going to be a max of 15 episodes altogether, but probably more like 13 episodes.
So aren't you glad we spent all that time with Samwell for no reason?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, now come on, he's the only... With Hodor gone, he's the only cute big boy left. So
I agree.
I will allow
like
it. I will allow it.
And Hodor was cute, I guess. Whatever. Yeah, no.
I
thought he
was cute.
I love him as a person. I think he's a sweetheart, and I'm glad he's part of the bear community for sure. I would love if Samwell was part of the bear community. I think he's straight, unfortunately.
Oh, so sad.
I know. Why can't they all be with us?
Or at least dip in the pond for a while.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Why can't we all be okay with the Kinsey scale being flexible?
Then you can be like, let me show you my dragon glass.
Right, exactly. It's like, well, Gilly didn't do a few things right. Let me show you a few.
Yeah, oh boy.
It's 3 things she doesn't know how to do.
Oh boy. Yeah. I don't know. The wildlings apparently know a lot about that. I mean, remember Ginger Minger? Like she was totally like
Ginger Minger. She was. Yeah, she popped John's cherry very well.
She did.
What is it with the wildlings popping Night Watchman's cherries?
That's their main source.
That's
the only place they can get cherries.
It's the only grocery store in town.
That's right.
For some cherries.
Oh, goodness.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we didn't touch on that happened in this episode.
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
I think we touched on everything somehow.
Yeah.
We just unpack everything.
Yeah, I don't think there are any other plot points.
Oh, Littlefinger is back and he's still hot. I love Littlefinger.
Oh, he's so creepy and gross.
No, Littlefinger is so sexy.
No.
I just think the way they call him Littlefinger, every time I see him, I think micro-penis.
Yeah, I do too, and I'm just like, I'm hoping that it's not so Littlefinger.
Yeah.
Man.
But no, he's hot. He has an Irish accent. Oh my god.
Yeah.
No,
Let's change his name to Micro Penis.
Actually, Game of Thrones should just call him that. Why? But what do they call him? They call. I forget what Game of Thrones calls him. He looks like Gary Oldman.
A little.
He's like a
Little
hot
bit.
Gary Oldman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But that whole,
Well-
like, he was macking on Sansa, and I don't want her to fall for his bullshit. That's what's
I
really
know.
irritating. I'm like, okay, girl, you're making some smart moves here. Don't blow it.
Yeah.
Though, I don't know.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, he better watch his P's and Q's, though, with her, because she alone knows that he killed Liza Aaron.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Remember, she gave false testimony to protect him, but she knows
Right.
the truth. So all she has to do is go to Robin and be like, this dude straight up killed your mom. He's why you don't get to breastfeed anymore. And he'd be like, let's make the bad man fly.
That's true. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well,
She's
we'll
got-
have to see
she's
what
got
happens
dirt.
with him. She does have
Yeah.
dirt. Well, something that my other brother brought up with me. It's like, well, we still don't know why she didn't tell Jon that the Knights of the Vale were coming to help. And if she had just told him, then that could have saved him how many lives, and the giants wouldn't be extinct now.
Yeah.
It was like the last
Right.
of the giants, wasn't it? So it's like, yeah, so you kind of ruined things, Sansa. Like, I guess I'll let it slide because we won, but it's like,
Yeah.
we
Give
lost a
your brother
lot of
hint
people.
next time.
Yeah, well, like if Ginger Wildling had died, then I don't think he would have been forgiving.
Yeah.
Because no major characters. Well, no, Rickon died, so you'd think he'd be a
Yeah.
little upset. Like, well, Rickon didn't have to die if you just told us to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I think he probably would have died anyway.
That's true, because he never knew how to zig and zag.
Well,
I know.
not only that, but if
Whenever
Ramsay saw that Jon had this huge force of the Knights of the Vale, right, show
Right.
up in addition to what he already had, I think Ramsay still would have killed him for show, just
Right.
to be an asshole.
He probably would have
So-
skinned him and strung him up. And
Right.
said,
He
okay,
would have
come
turned-
at me, bro. Right.
He would have turned him into like a human flag or something.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so, but
Mm.
Sansa still should have told Jon Snow.
Right. Like I guess
But-
I guess that we're supposed to take away that she did it because she wanted like the power trip of knowing that she knew something that her brother didn't, and that she had some cards to play. But you know, in the end, people's lives were lost. But I guess it doesn't matter because they didn't have names except for the giants. So
Bunch of
it
red
was
shirts.
Besides,
yeah, they were a bunch of red shirts basically.
Besides, Sansa doesn't fucking care about other people. She only
Yeah.
cares
She
about
totally
herself.
doesn't. Exactly.
Yeah.
She is definitely of nobility.
Mhm.
She's all like, "Well, I love that the North remembers me, but I don't remember the North."
Yeah. Exactly. She's no Arya.
Yeah.
That's right.
Arya was always
Alright.
of the people.
Right? All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and move to wrap here with some plugs. Casey, what have you got? It's been a few weeks. You probably have like 12 of them built up at this point.
I only have one. I've been trying to catch up on movies. I have two whole bookshelves of movies that I have to watch, decide whether I want to keep them or not, and so I've been catching up on those. But I have been watching Unreal on Lifetime,
Mm.
which is so good, still
Yeah.
good. It's interesting. It's still following the relationship between these two women, these two producers, very closely. Yeah, I like it. I think it's really good. I'm behind like 2 episodes, so I still need to play catch up. But it's really good. It's on Lifetime, and I think that the full first season, I think it's on Netflix. Look around on streaming platforms and watch the first season. It is amazing, and it will fly right. It's a very easy binge. I think it's only 10 episodes, and it'll fly right
nice.
by. It's very compelling. It's the show about the making of a bachelor-type dating show and kind of the depths that the production will go to make good TV, including a lot of
nice.
lying and manipulating, and a lot of emotional manipulation of the
Yeah.
contestants. So it's great. Such a good show.
I'm one episode
Sweet.
behind on that, so
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Awesome.
That's my summer
right.
rush right now.
There you go. Steven, what have you got?
I'll keep it all HBO for right now and say that if you haven't caught up with Veep or Silicon Valley, both shows still very excellent. Veep's finale was a little strange. I'm not sure where they're going with the show.
Yeah, I caught a bit of it and I was like, huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's very odd, but I'm hoping It didn't say series finale, although it kind of felt like it.
Right. That's what my brother said. My brother said, "Is it done?" I said, "No, it was renewed."
Yeah. So I don't. I think it's. I don't know. I have no idea where they're going with it, but that I kind of like that about it. But it's still hilarious, even without it. Even the second to last episode, they did this mockumentary sort of kind of thing because the daughter has been videotaping, to make a film this whole season. So they kind of edited that together into a half-hour long short film that they played, and it was pretty hilarious. And then Silicon Valley's just always great. It's just always brilliant, and I love what they're doing with it. So
I'm so behind on both. I need to catch up on both. I haven't watched Veep since the premiere, and Silicon Valley, I haven't watched it since Stephen Tobolowsky found out about their Ocean's 11 plots.
So you're really behind.
I am. You know why? Because Game of Thrones has been exhausting me week after week. So I'm just like, I need to go to bed, and then I say I'll catch up, and I never do. So thank you, HBO Go. I'll probably do that probably for the rest of the night and tomorrow. Catch up on both of those.
There you go. Awesome. All right, for me this week, guys, I am a huge fan of an 80s cartoon called Voltron.
Oh, yeah, I love Voltron.
Voltron is awesome, and Netflix recently released Season 1 of Voltron Legendary Defender, which is their new take on Voltron. And I got to tell you, I was a little iffy on this because there've been a couple Voltron redos in the last 15 years, and they've all been pretty terrible. So I was like, Netflix, I trust you, but really? But I gotta tell you, fucking phenomenal. So good on so many levels. Yeah. So to anyone out there that is maybe late to the Voltron Legendary Defender party, if you've been holding back because you're kind of not quite sure, take it from a diehard Voltron fan. Fucking amazing. Definitely worth your time. And then I have one more plug because I'm stingy. It's been a few weeks. So you guys know that when I fall into a show hole, I tend to comfort rewatch until I figure out something that I want to watch. So about a week and a half ago, iTunes had a massive sale on Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra. Every season was $9.99. So I picked them all up. And I started rewatching Legend of Korra a week ago, and Steve and I just started season 4. I've just been shotgunning it, and
wow,
oh my god, I forget how amazing this show is. I'm going to be so sad when it's over again. But good stuff.
Yeah, both those series, the first original and that one, just so well done.
I started having Jim watch Avatar: The Last Airbender with me from the first episode, and I think we're on episode 5 right now, and I think it's too silly for him.
But that's the thing, is it starts silly, and I felt the same way. But then you get into it, and it gets a lot more serious later on.
It does, and I've told him you just got to stick with it.
It's very kiddie in the very beginning, and even the actors weren't doing very well. The voice acting's kind of terrible in the beginning, but then they find their rhythm, and by the second season, third season, it's just
yeah.
Well, that sounds like it's the Buffy of animated series.
Yes, exactly.
Where it's everyone tells me get through the first season, it gets really good in season 2. I'm like, that's 23 hours of show I need to get through to get to it good. You're telling me to waste a day of my life to get to the good part? What are you talking about? But I have wanted to watch Avatar for a long time. I heard it's great.
Yeah.
And Legend of Korra, because you were plugging it during the last season, and so I was like, I need to watch this. So both have been on my radar forever.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, yeah. You totally need to check it out, Casey. It's pretty awesome.
Sure. And I do like Steven Universe now, by the way.
Oh, you do? You started watching it?
I did, because I remember we talked a bit about it, and I was like, when is this going to get really good, you guys? I'm expecting this to blow my mind, and it finally started blowing my mind around the time you said it was going to.
Okay, good.
So I'm not done with all the ones that are on Hulu, but I'm about halfway through. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Was it the Cat Fingers episode?
It was the Cat Fingers episode.
I love that episode.
I see what the show is capable of. Okay, I'm going to keep watching. Yeah.
Right.
It's able to
that's
mix that
great.
humor with pathos, and
Totally.
yeah, I like the relationship between him and his dad. So definitely keep on watching that.
Hey, Casey Scott,
Mm-hmm.
check it out.
Oh my God, that's awesome! Oh,
Good.
I love that. I like
Yeah.
that Estelle, the British singer, is the voice of that character.
Right?
It's
That's
so random.
cool.
I'm like, she decided to stop singing and be a voice actor.
It's
Very
kind of
weird.
crazy.
Yeah,
All right. Well, this has been really fun. I am hesitant to sign off because it's been a few weeks. I'm enjoying talking with you guys so
I
much.
know.
Yeah.
But we do need to release you to your other time commitments. I know on your end of the country it is very late, Casey. So
Yeah.
thanks
Slightly. I'll be up for a while.
will you? All right.
I'm probably gonna watch Veep actually. Steven gave
Oh,
me.
there you go.
There you go.
All
I really
right.
need to pick up on that.
Well, we'll figure out what we're doing for next time and when next time will be. But
Okay.
thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys. As usual, it's been a lot of fun. Those of you who have been listening live, good to have you. If you're on digital tape delay, good to have you too.
Mhm.
Take it easy. We'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye guys.
Bye, everyone.
Enjoy TV.
Yes.